Today we discuss about the another topic, the magnetic properties of matter. In that topic, firstly we must know how the magnetic property arises in the material. As we know, the current flowing in circular coil, it produces the magnetic moment along its coil. Also the electron revolve around the nucleus as well as the spin motion of an electron. They produces the orbital magnetic moment and the spin magnetic moment. Hence, the magnetism which arises from the magnetic moment or magnetic dipole moment of the magnetic material. We know any material gets magnetized by application of external magnetic field. Such a material we call magnetic material. That material has different properties. Such a properties we discuss here. Before that, we must know what are the important terms related to the properties of magnetic material. The first important property is the magnetic dipole moment, how the magnetic moment arises in the material. If we suppose a current is flowing in a circular coil, it produces a magnetic shell. That magnetic shell has a magnetic moment, and magnetic moment is the product of the current in the closed path multiplied by area of the closed loop, that is mu m is equal to I into A. What is its unit? Unit is ampere meter square. Or if we suppose a magnet, then its magnetic dipole moment is the product of pole strength multiplied by the distance between the two poles. Now what is m? M is the pole strength and it measures how much strong the magnet. How we define the term? The pole strength is the amount of the magnetic force experienced by unit magnetic pole at certain distance from the magnet, and it is measured in terms of ampere meter. Therefore, the unit is ampere meter into meter, that is ampere meter square. Second term is intensity of magnetization. Intensity of magnetization is defined as the net magnetic moment per unit volume. Unit is ampere per meter. Magnetic moment is known, then find its unit ampere per meter. Magnetic susceptibility psi. That magnetic susceptibility is the ratio of the intensity of magnetization per unit applied magnetic field. M is the intensity of magnetization. H is the applied magnetic field, that we also call magnetic field intensity. Now how we find the magnetic field intensity? Magnetic field intensity at any point in the magnetic field is the force experienced by an unit north pole placed at that point. Hence the unit of the magnetic field intensity is ampere per meter. Intensity of magnetism is again ampere per meter. Both units are same. Therefore, magnetic susceptibility is a dimensionless term. But that susceptibility may be positive or negative. It depends upon the type of magnetism in the material. Nextly, we note another relation. That relation is the magnetic induction produced in the material due to application of applied magnetic field. This relation is B is equal to mu 0 into bracket H plus M. What is mu 0? Is the permeability of the free space. Hence, this relation we simplified in terms of mu. Therefore, mu 0 into bracket H plus M we have to replace in terms of psi H, since psi is M by H. Mu 0 H into 1 plus psi. Therefore, it becomes mu 0 1 plus psi is denoted by mu. That mu is permeability of the material. Hence, one relation we get from that relation. Then what is magnetic permeability? That magnetic permeability, from that relation we note here, it is the ratio of B by H. B is magnetic induction. That magnetic induction measured in terms of Weber per meter square or Tesla. Therefore, the unit for the magnetic permeability is Weber per ampere meter. Now, what is relative permeability? Relative permeability is the ratio of the permeability of the magnetic material to permeability of the free space. Hence, mu by mu 0. Mu is known in terms of mu 0 into bracket 1 plus psi. Therefore, relative permeability becomes 1 plus psi. Again substitute mu, separate mu term is equal to mu r mu 0. Hence, B becomes mu 0 mu r h. Hence, in the free space, what is that relation we get? In free space, we suppose the intensity of magnetization is 0. If intensity of magnetization is 0 means susceptibility of the material becomes 0. Then what is relative permeability? 1. Hence we get mu is equal to mu 0. If mu r is 1, then mu by mu 0 is 1, that is mu equal to mu 0. Hence in the free space, the relation satisfied is B is equal to mu 0 H. And in presence of the magnetic field or the magnetic material, the relation is B is equal to mu H. Remember these two relations. Then we note what is Curie temperature. It is the temperature at which the ferromagnetic material changes to paramagnetic or paramagnetic to ferromagnetic. The temperature above which the ferromagnetic material loses its magnetic properties, means it converts into paramagnetic. Actually, what happened at that temperature? The domain structure destructed and the domain loses their alignment. Now, what is that domain theory? That we discuss in the next point. What is ferromagnetic domain theory? Another term is Curie law. That Curie law, susceptibility of the magnetic material is directly proportional to 1 by T. Constant of proportionality is C, known as Curie constant, and T is the absolute temperature. Only in some material it satisfies the Curie law. But if the material does not satisfy the Curie law, another modified Curie-Weiss law is established, and that law is psi is equal to C divided by T minus theta. With that, in that case, theta is the Curie temperature that we call, it is always less up to the 10 degree Kelvin. What is magnetic flux? Magnetic flux, the number of magnetic lines of force passing normally through the surface. Unit is Weber. Then we discuss about the magnetization curve or hysteresis loop for the ferromagnetic material. Since ferromagnetic material which show permanent magnetic dipole moment. In that case, how the magnetization curve we explain here with the help of M versus H or B versus H, where M is the intensity of magnetization and H is the magnetizing field or magnetizing force, that is equal to N into I. Hysteresis is a Greek word. Its meaning is lagging behind or deficiency. Actually, it describes the behavior of the magnetic nature of the material. Now, what is that loop? That we explain here. The intensity of magnetization M, as it increases, then increases with increase in magnetic field initially through the path OA, and it reaches the saturation at A. Once it reaches the saturation point, then H is decreased such that the M does not come to 0. In that case, M is not come to 0 at H equal to 0. That means there is some residual magnetization is set up in the material. That residual magnetization is represented by the region OB. That residual magnetization is known as retentivity. Now to bring M to 0 by demagnetize the material completely, means in that case H is not 0. H is not 0. We say here H is not 0, but it is negative or opposite magnetic field is applied. Such a magnetization which is produced in the material, that is shown by the region OC. OC is the opposite magnetizing field. That opposite magnetizing field is also known as coercivity. Now, after reaching the saturation point D, the magnetic field H is again reversed and the curve closest to the point A, and we get a one complete cycle. Hence, the loop A, B, C, D, E, F, A, such a complete loop cycle is known as hysteresis loop. That is known as hysteresis loop. Then what is hysteresis loss? The area of the loop, it gives the loss of energy. That loss of energy is due to the cycle of magnetization and demagnetization. During magnetization and demagnetization process, energy is dissipated in the form of heat. Such a losses can be reduced by using the material that has less area of the hysteresis loop. Then we classify the magnetic material into five different types. The first one is diamagnetic material, paramagnetic material, ferromagnetic material, antiferromagnetic material, and ferrimagnetic material. These five types of the magnetism in the material we distinguish with these four different points: susceptibility, atomic or magnetic behavior of that material, temperature dependence, and examples. The first one is diamagnetism. Diamagnetism, its susceptibility is always negative and very small. How much negative? 10 raised to minus 5 to 10 raised to minus 6, minus of 10 raised to minus 5 to minus of 10 raised to minus 6. In such a material, the atoms does not have the permanent magnetic moment, and that material is totally independent on temperature. Example is that bismuth, silicon, copper, mercury, gold, and the inert gases. The diamagnetism theory was explained by Langevins, and that theory is known as classical Langevins theory. It shows the different results. The first result is that the susceptibility of diamagnetic material is temperature independent. Second is the diamagnetic materials, its susceptibility is directly proportional to atomic number. Third, the susceptibility has higher value if the material which contain large number of atoms. Next one is that diamagnetism is due to the influence of the magnetic field on the orbital angular momentum of an electron. Hence, spin motion is not included in that case. Second one is paramagnetic material, paramagnetism. This is another property of the material. In that material, its susceptibility is again positive and small value, and it is in the range of 10 raised to minus 3 to 10 raised to minus 5. Now, what is its atomic behavior? All dipole moments are randomly oriented, and therefore without any external field the net magnetization is 0. But in presence of magnetic field the material gets weak magnetized. Hence the weak magnetization which appear in the material in presence of external magnetic field. It is initially independent on temperature. Without any external field, it is independent on temperature. If field is applied, susceptibility is inversely proportional to temperature. That Curie law is satisfied only for some material. But in some cases, the Curie law is not satisfied in that material. They satisfy modified Curie-Weiss law, and the modified Curie-Weiss law is psi is equal to C divided by T minus theta, where theta is Curie temperature, C is Curie constant, and T is the absolute temperature. Examples: alkali and transition metals, which come under paramagnetism, paramagnetic material. Next type of the magnetism is ferromagnetism. That material which has large susceptibility and always positive values. Such a susceptibility is the function of applied field. It depends upon the applied field as well as microstructure dependent. How much it is large susceptibility? It is always greater than 100 to 10 raised to 5. By explaining the atomic behavior or the magnetic behavior of that material, the atoms are organized in the domain. Now, what is domain? That is the ferromagnetism domain theory that was initiated by the Weiss theory. According to that domain theory, the ferromagnetic solid is divided into number of small regions. Every small region is called as domain, and the wall separated between the two domain, that is called Bloch wall. Now, how the magnetic moment, dipole moments aligned in each domain, that alignment is parallel in each domain. Therefore, without any external field, they possess large permanent magnetization. Such a magnetization we call spontaneous. Since without any external field, if it possesses the large magnetization, that magnetization is a spontaneous magnetization. Now, how it depends on the temperature. Ferromagnetic material obey Curie law. Above Curie temperature, the material acts as a ferromagnetic, but below Curie temperature, material acts as ferromagnetic, but above Curie temperature, the material ferromagnetic convert into paramagnetic material. Since the thermal effects cancel the spin alignment of the molecule in that case. Now, what are the examples? Iron, nickel, cobalt, gadolinium, and number of alloys and oxides such as MnBi, MnAs, CrO2, etc. Such a material show hysteresis loop, and using that hysteresis we decide whether the material gets permanent magnetization or not magnetization. Antiferromagnetism is the another type of the material. In that material, susceptibility is again positive and small. It is in the range of 10 raised to minus 3 to 10 raised to minus 5. Here the atoms, again atoms are organized in the domain. Atoms have mixed parallel and anti-parallel alignment of the magnetic moment. Antiferromagnetic material as it is only below nil temperature, but above that temperature the antiferromagnetic material convert into paramagnetic. Example: chromium, manganese oxide, iron oxide, nickel oxide, MnF2, etc. And the last one is ferrimagnetism. That material is again having the same property as the ferromagnetic. It is always positive and large function of applied field, microstructure dependent. Susceptibility is in the range of 100 to 10 raised to 5. Again, the atoms are organized in the domain. All atoms have antiparallel aligned magnetic moments and therefore they possess large magnetization without any external field. Hence, ferrimagnetic material remains as it is only below Curie temperature and it changes to paramagnetic above that temperature. Fe3O4, NiFe2O4, MnFe2O4 are the example for such a kind of the material. Hence, in the present topic, we discuss all about the different types of the magnetism, their properties, and the different important terms related to that properties. Thank you.